everybody. First, I want to begin by, first and foremost, thanking the Aish to bring me back here. I can't even begin to tell you how it feels. For those of you here now for the first time, you don't understand this, but when you come back, part of the beauty of being A, in Eretz Yisrael, B, in a place like this, and C, in the old city, is that you'll never leave it. I was in the old city in the 90s. I went to a place down the road here called yecholto in the 95, 96. It's a long time ago. And still today when I come back, I feel like I never left. And so the gift that Hashem gave you, which I hope you never ever take for granted, is that the Kadosh Baruch Hu himself chose you to be in the old city. That's not, you could have learned anywhere. This is your place. And every time you walk these stones, and every time you feel the cobblestones, and every time you hear the midnight calls, and when it's craziness and you can't get back to your room, and this tour bus comes in, and that goes on in the hotel, and it just, the pandemonium of your life, which is your neighborhood, never leaves you. And so, appreciate it, and I can tell you, coming back, thank you, Kodesh Baruch Hu, for bringing me back, to my close chaver friend, Yedid, Rabbi Rossman, who I care about so much. And what he does for everybody and all the Rebbeim that are here, I appreciate the schus to be able to speak to you, and I appreciate what you're doing for Klal Yisrael. So I want to talk to you about something, a little bit that recently has been on my mind. I have a Rav that I'm close to in Eretz Yisrael. His name is Rabbi Moshe Levi. I had the schus to speak to him, hopefully more. Speak to him, thank God. And he shared something with me recently that really started to put pieces together for me that I want to share today. We're in the middle of two of the most important parshas, I think, of your life. Lahavdil elav havdalas. What I'm going to say right now, I'm saying with lahavdil, there aren't enough havdalas I can say to make this comparison. But I'm only making it because I want you to know just how much of a regular dude I am and how unholy I am. That I'm already thinking this way. But it's not in any way comparable. I used to play basketball when I was younger, and when I got older, there was this big machloikis as to who's a better ball player, Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. Now it's for the young people, I don't know, whoever the new player, but then it was the big machloikis that people would fight over. So one time we were sitting around a bunch of from Jewish white boys, and we were hocking, you know what I'm saying? But really in the sugya hocking, holding by Michael's defense shift mid-career and how he's able to take over a game, what he did to Utah, holding by Kobe and how he turned himself over. Can you live with Shaq? Can't you live with Shaq? A sugya, real sugya, not just good ball players, a real intense chabura style debate. And one guy came by and he's what are you guys fighting about? This is world peace? Or almost, you know what I'm saying? This dude's from LA, he thinks Kobe's better, this crazy older guys, younger guys. And remember he said, he wasn't a ball player, but he said something like he threw water on, cold water on us. He's just remember one thing, you guys can hock all you want. If either of them saw you on a park, with their eyes closed, they destroy you in less than a second. Just get into context, you know what I'm saying? Who we're talking about. And I remember feeling yeah, you're right. Lahavdil elef alfei elef ruvei havdalas in the world. We're sitting in between the parshas of the greatest people that began the world. We get caught in the Rashi, Noach, Avraham, Noach. It's irrelevant for us. For Rashi, maybe it's relevant. For me and you, it's not relevant. We're talking about two people that began the world. Noach started the world. Noach was the tzaddik that looked at the entire planet, who went in one direction. He had the strength and the fortitude to be the single man on earth. Avraham did the same thing. Hamar Ivri. These are two people. Avraham and Noach is the launch pad of us sitting in this room right now. And when you look at these two parshas, if you can get inside, and you're in the middle of it right now, it's the middle. If you can get inside these parshas and learn from what they went through in their lives, it won't just be a figure somewhere. It will allow you to understand what part of your life is coming out, that the Torah is bringing out the stories of two people that did somewhat of the same thing, but differently. If you go through your life and you miss Noach and Avraham, you're going to miss your godless. Because Noach and Avraham's story is not what we do to set up the rest of the year. Noach and Avraham's story is your story. It's my story. These are our grandparents. And Hashem is telling us, I'm telling this to you twice. I want you to hear the story. And I want you to get it, because in your life you're going to see it. And when you see it, I want you to know your DNA. And the story of Noach opens up in an incredible way. I read this in a book from Rabbeinu Bachya years ago. Noach opens up and Hashem says, we're going to wipe out the world. Remember the story. And Noach builds a teivah. And if you're like most, you do Shtayim Mikra, where you read the Parsha, and you could teivah, and it's got 50 by 300. You're like, these amos by these amos by these amos, right? If you're like me, you're thinking, go like, I don't know, I can't convert amos. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I can't convert shkalim. You ever do that? You have to learn how to convert shkalim. You ever like go to the store? How much for the Coke? 80 shkalim. You're like, I don't know, that must be right. You got to carry the 3, and there's some kind of 0.4. I don't know, whatever. It's paper money. It's monopoly money. Until your parents call you, like, how much have you spent on dinner? You're like, I don't know, 17,000 shkalim. Isn't that about right? Because we can't convert shkalim. We're American. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're Israeli. Can you convert amos in your head? You know how much an amma is? We try to figure it out. 6 feet, 4 feet. It doesn't matter. You can't convert it quick enough to read a parsha and go, oh, that's how big the ship was. And that made sense. So you read the amos, you're like, that sounds like a big ship. That's a good idea. Hashem says, build a ship. You're thinking like, check, good idea, Noah, build the ship. To give you a context of how big Noah's ship was, it was about 1.5 acres. There was between tens and hundreds of thousands of animals in 1.5 acres. Let's put this in context. The Bronx Zoo has 200 acres. The Bronx Zoo has 26 acres for 4,000 animals. 26, you know why? Because they're animals. They don't sit on an El seat for 10 hours. You can't put a lion and a giraffe. Like in economy, it doesn't work. They're animals. They have to move. That's what animals do. They walk and crawl and jump and fly and eat each other and swim. Like, they're animals. You can't stick them in a room. So you need a lot of acres for a few animals. Hashem tells Noah, build this teivah, you're going to live. And you know how big the teivah is going to be? It's 1 acre for 100,000 animals. It's impossible. You can't put those many animals in a teivah. Rabbeinu Bachya, or Rabbeinu Yeshiva quotes Rabbeinu Bachya, asked the following question. Why do I have to make it so hard for? It's already hard, isn't it? Isn't it hard already to be the one guy in the world that survives? That's not hard enough for Noach? The whole world goes down? You're the only guy left, you and your family? That's not hard enough? Like you didn't pass the hard test? Now the Kodesh Baruch Hu, why couldn't he just make it easy? Why couldn't Hashem have told Noach, listen, here's the deal. There's a mountain right down the block. It's a mile from where your house is. Walk the mountain. On top of the mountain, there's going to be plenty of room. They'll roam around. It's 50 feet, the mountain. I only need 30 feet of water. I'll wipe the place out. It's not going to be that hard. Or like walk for a half a year. And by the time you go to this little island, I'll wipe. Hashem couldn't. Rabbeinu Bachya goes even further. Goes, Hashem could have them float. Like, you couldn't have had another way that would have been easier for Noah. Build a teivah that's not big enough for 120 years he's building. And then he puts them on and it doesn't fit. Challenge on the challenge on the challenge on the challenge. Rabbeinu Bachya says, what is he making it so hard for? Why did Hashem tell Noach to do something impossible after Noach stepped up? And he answers the following. And you got to hear this, because if you can get this and put this into your soul, it's going to change your life if you can get it, because I'm still working on it. Ki derech ha-Torah, he says. You want to know the ways of Hashem? Rabbeinu Bachya says, Ki derech ha-Torah. L'tzavas ala adam sheyaseh kol yecholto. Kodesh Baruch Hu puts you in scenarios that seem impossible. And he asks you to do that which you can do to the extent that you can do it. Push yourself to the max. Lahavdil, get on the bench. I'm not impressed if you can lift the weight you lifted yesterday. I can't lift it. Hashem's like, I know, I'm spotting you. Get as far up as you can until your muscles fail. B'derech hateva. Go to your nature. Push beyond what you can figure out and do. Listen to these words. And this is what we're talking about today. And what is left? Hateva, what you can't possibly do. Yashlim b'nes. Kodesh Baruch Hu doesn't come to the table and say, it's on me. Kodesh Baruch Hu says, how much money is in your pocket? I can't afford. I got. And he goes, whatever is left on the bill, I'll cover. The way the Kodesh Baruch Hu works the world is, he takes Jews and he puts them through scenarios. Not all, the ones who step up for him. And he puts them through scenarios in life. And if you look throughout Torah, you will find the same story happening again and again and again and again and again. It was impossible for Avraham to make it. It was impossible for Yaakov to survive in Lavan. It was impossible for Yosef to be Yosef. It was impossible for the Jews to get out of Mitzrayim. It was impossible for them to be in Hanukkah. You can't possibly light 8 nights of oil. You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. If you go throughout history, you look at this building, you look at your lives, you will see throughout history is built on the backs of Jews that are put in scenarios, and they look at the scenario, and they look at it and they go, it is naturally impossible for this to work. I can't get it. I can't do it. No, it's impossible. No, literally. No, I'm not saying like I'm not trying to be frum. I don't have enough oil for 8. No, literally, I'm a 17-year-old boy in Mitzrayim. No, I can't walk through a city. No, I can't. It's impossible. I can't eat in the desert. And Hashem, again and again and again, he starts it right here, says, you want to know how I'm going to run this world? You can play or not. You can buy into this or not. I don't care. I'm telling you how the world works. The proud Jews that stand up and become who they are, I put them through a challenge. You know why I put them through a challenge for? Because the way I bring miracles into this world, or of the ways I bring miracles into this world, is I wait for people to go as far as they can and push themselves as far as they can, and through them pushing themselves to the end of their natural abilities, I bring the nays through them. If you're standing here right now, the way it works for you and your life and for your history is that the way Hashem, he can do anything he wants, he brings miracles into this world as he asks us to push ourselves as far as we can. Umashe yachsar, when we have nothing left, when it's a water and a Egypt behind us, when we're sitting around going, I can't get any further, when we can't move anymore and we've done everything that we can, then the Kodesh Baruch Hu he's yashlim, he fills in the rest through the nays. The conduit to miracles that Hashem puts into this world is you. If you choose to play in this game. He's waiting for a few Noachs to stare at the impossible and go, there's no way. I can't get it. I can't do it. I can't go back and make it work. I just can't. But I'm going to anyways. Because I'm not scared of nature. Because I'm a piece of Hashem. And Kodesh Baruch Hu looking down, oh, I'm sorry. Because, what'd you say? Brings the malachim. No. Zero into this one. Hold on. Check the frequency. Yeah, watch this. Old city. I love this place. Come on. Oh, right there. What did he say? Oh, he's not bound by nature? He's not scared? He's not worried about how uncomfortable? Why? So let's talk about why. So the greatest gift we have and the greatest gift you have is the gift that we don't appreciate. Let's get to my conversation with the rabbi, Rabbi Levi. Listen to this. How much time do I have now? A few more minutes? Okay, you'll tell me. Give me the 5-minute warning. The greatest gift we have is a gift we don't appreciate. What is that? Kodesh Baruch Hu creates a world, and the world Hashem creates has malachim in it, angels that are all Hashem, perfect beings. He creates animals who have very natural natures, that their job in life, so to speak, is to do their job in the natural way. And the Kodesh Baruch Hu then does something that is amazing. It is so amazing that you can go your entire life and not appreciate it. It is so amazing that you can meet people who go their whole life and appreciate it. It's happening to them, whether they like it or not, but they don't appreciate it. This is going to be part of your life, whether you like this or not. And the earlier you get this, the easier your life will be. The Kodesh Baruch Hu does something that is outstanding. He takes an animal and he lifts the animal on his 2 legs. And then he does the unthinkable. He takes a piece of himself. Hashem. Whatever. We don't know who Hashem is. Let's say the Or Ein Sof, the divine light. He takes divine light, piece of Hashem, and he puts it inside you. Which means if your eyes are open right now, the reason why your eyes are open right now is not because the chemical compounds in your brain. The reason why your eyes are open right now is because what is powering you right now is a piece of Hashem. Elokim. And the Balatanya goes one step further because I wasn't there, but I can almost imagine the Balatanya writing these words, and he's like, they're not going to believe me. So he adds a word that is one of the most powerful words ever written. I believe he wrote, Mamesh. As if like, no, I'm not kidding. As if he's reading going, they're not going to believe this. Mamesh, no, really. It's not theoretical. It's not like a cute idea. This is an avert. This is actual reality. This is the science of your life. Inside your life. In you right now. And I speak to people like, I'm religious, I'm not religious, I'm into it, I'm not into it. I'm feeling it. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I'm like, I'm feeling it. I'm like, what are you joking me? You have more spirituality inside you than you will ever need for the rest of your life. You don't have to become spiritual. You need to be more spiritual than Hashem. Hashem is infinite. You're finite. You have infinite. How much can you possibly be more than infinite? There's no more infinite than infinite. And inside you, if your eyes are open, you already have the default setting is infinite. You pick up the iPhone and you say, you're making a phone call? Oh, does it do more? What are you kidding me? It's built into the settings. You're feeling it? All that's happening in your life is not becoming spiritual. All that's happening in your life is revealing spiritual. That's the whole life. Our whole life is one process of revealing spiritual. And if we get it when we're young, we have a life that feels different because our life is a process of revealing spiritual. If you're infinite, nothing in the finite world can possibly make you feel as good as infinite. Being finite, touching your soul isn't like the best meal times 2. It's not like I had the best chill times 100. Touching your soul is infinitely different. It's categorically a different feeling. The addiction, the greatness, the feeling of what it feels like to be connected to your soul feels different. And when you look at life, you have people whose entire life, their journey of life is, how do I reveal that from who I am? My soul is me. And every time I reveal it a little bit, it feels so good that I keep on trying to reveal it. And you have other people who don't have that until they get older and their body slows down. That's why you see people that when they're at the end of their life, they start giving charity more, they start caring about their family. How come that 80-year-old who spent most of his career beating people up to make a few bucks, all of a sudden is the biggest benefactor? What happened to the guy? Every billionaire is giving away all their money now. How come? You know what happened? Over life, their body slowed down and their soul's going like, hello, and they're going, holy cow, that's not who I am. Who we are, who you are, is that piece of Hashem, that infinite soul that's inside you. And every time you tap into it, and every time you get to it, it feels different, which is why you're sitting here, because you sensed it, you smelt it at least once. You wouldn't be sitting in the room if you never had a moment in your life where you're like, that thing that I feel feels categorically different. What is that? I want more of that. That's called, the rabbi says, a tzelem Elokim. That's who you are. We are a tzelem Elokim. And if you take a guy and he's stuck in the alleyways of New York, and the guy's the king of the alleys, and he knows how to get to every garbage and trades whatever he can find for some more food, and knows all the different corners, and he's the king, and he rocks this little area in New York, and he's doing everything he wants, and everyone loves him, and one day limos pull up, they put him in the back of the limo, they drive him out to the suburbs, and then he's like, what am I doing here? They bring him out, they bring him into some old guy who's on a ventilator, they go, this is your father. He's like, what, my father? I don't have a father. He goes, it's him. He owns all this, he's a genius, and he's a billionaire, and you're about to inherit all of his wealth and all of what he has. He's like, what are you talking about? They put him back in the car, they drive him right back to the alleys, and his buddy's like, hey man, where you been, man? I got this great new garbage that just came in. The garbage truck just dumped this whole bunch of stuff. You gotta check out this whole stuff. We got great stuff you can trade. He's like, what? What are you talking about? They're like, no, check out this new alley they opened up in the corner, you can sleep there. It's like, what are you talking about? The second he realizes that he is the son of greatness, that he is tapping into being his father's son that he never met, all the stuff goes away. And the only thing blocking this guy from becoming the son of his father is one thing, the rabbi says. And let's talk about this for a few seconds. It's called identity. And this is the block. And this is how we transition from Noach to Avraham, and then just give me a few more minutes. Because we come into this world. And when you come into this world, you're a soul. kids are souls, which is why they're unstoppable. Then the world gets us. And unless you grew up under a rock, chances are wherever you grew up in a little society that said, I'm going to tell you what's important. And so you grew up in a world, and you're little and you're trying to figure out who you are. Who am I? Like, I don't know, I got to school, I was super funny at home, and I get to school, am I funny in the playground? And some people go to schools where you know what the most important thing is, how you play sports. They all become ball players, and then there's a certain hierarchy to the athletes. And some people go to schools where ball's okay, but you know what they really care about is if you went to the right school, so there's a hierarchy in the academics. And some people grow up in places where who cares about school, who cares about ball, it's all about money. And it's a hierarchy, how many businesses you can start before you're 21 years old. But if you're like most, if you're paying attention, and if you're not paying attention, pay attention. If you're like most, you grow up in a world where the society around you determines who you need to be. When you stop someone on the street and you go, what's your name? What's the next question you ask them? What do you do? Why do you ask them who cares what they do? Because what you're asking them is, who are you? And you grow up in a material world, especially for those who come from America. It doesn't matter if you don't come from America. If you come from the West of the world that is born from Greece, from Yavan, from Rome, in that world, especially from Greece, they introduced the concept of who you are is not your soul, it's your body. Greece came up with the idea of Olympics because they were honoring the body. Who came up with the idea that how much you have is who you are? It's Greece. And when you grow up in a regular Western world, when you're a kid, what happens is the world around you is trying their hardest to give you a good life. And the life that we have in the West comes from Greece. And the life of Greece comes from the body. Nobody in Greece believes in the soul. So therefore, in order for me to become the person I'm supposed to be, I look around to my whatever version of the Greek world that I live in, and I ask somebody, who should I be? And when we're little, they tell us right away who you should be because you go to class and they have a curriculum. And if you don't know how to get the right letters next to your name, mommy has to come in and they got to put you on Ritalin, and then you're, oh my God, I can't believe it. You don't know how to memorize. It's going to be over. And then as you go through life, you try to figure it out. And wherever you are, chances are someone has told you and taught you that who you are is what you do. When someone says, what do you want to be when you grow up? What they mean is, what do you want to do when you grow up? But there's no difference in a Western world between doing and being. Doing is who you are. I want to be a lawyer. What does it mean I want to be a lawyer? It means that what you do for a living is who you are. So if I walk into a room and I'm acting crazy, everyone's like, what are you doing? As soon as you find out that I have some money, you don't even know how I got the money. All of a sudden everyone gives them COVID. Why are you giving the guy COVID for? Maybe he inherited all of his money. He's still crazy. You know why? Because I live in a world where what you have is of value. That's who he is. What do you do for a living? What, really? What do you do? Oh. And what do you know what half that stuff means? Oh, you're in private equity? I don't know. That must sound really, really important. Because when you live in a world and you grow up in a world where it's a material world that the value is not at the core soul, what happens to me and you is we're trying to find out who we are. And in trying to find out who we are, we mistakenly think that what I do or what I have is who I am. And before I even graduated high school, I've already determined that I'm going to be one time, I'm going to go into this fancy Ivy League school, and that's going to be who I am, or I'm a good ball player, that's who I am, or I'm going to make money, that's who I am, or I'm good looking, that's who I am, or have money, that's who I am. Every aspect of our growth creates this incredible confusion. And the confusion that we have, the rabbi said, is a confusion of identity. Who I am becomes what I have and what I do, what I will have, what I will do. And every second that I identify, the rabbi says, every second that I identify with something that's outside Hashem, I put my chips in that basket, and those chips will always let me down. I can have everything in the world. I can have all the money and all the covet and everything in the world, but if it becomes who I am, I have hung my hat on the hook called this world. I have hung my hat on a hook called Greece, and that will by definition fail me, because anything that I am outside who I really am, I could be the best guy trading banana peels in the alleyways. The second the father from the billionaire looks at his son going, that's who you are? You're a banana peel trader? You could trade banana peels, but who you are? You're my son. Do you have any idea who you are? You've lowered yourself to becoming the best alley finder? That's who you are? That's what you're striving for? You're striving to do something, and you think that by doing something you're going to be that thing, so that in your society they'll give you respect, because in that society that's what they think is important, because it's a Greek world? Do you have any idea who you are? Who you are is a piece of me. You've taken the infinite and made it finite? Are you kidding me? Anything you hold on to that is you, that is finite, is going to let you down because it's finite. So you're going to be 60 and then all of a sudden the firm's going to shut down and you're going to lose yourself? The market's going to turn, you lose a few bucks, you're going to lose yourself? You know who you are? You're a piece of me. You can have stuff. You can do stuff. We have and we do. But the second we determine who we are is not a piece of that tzelem Elokim, when our identity shifts from who I am is a piece of that God, and who I am is a connection to Hashem, the second I lose my identity, I lose myself. Hashem is turning to Noach and saying, hey, send something. You are a conduit to miracles. Who you are is a piece of me. And every time I send you something, the rabbi says, I'm sending you something to make you better, to make you stronger. And every time you do something to bring closer to me, every time you learn Torah and you figure me out, every word that comes into your brain to get to me, every mitzvah you do, which is a plug into the wall, every time you hold yourself back, guess what's happening? You're showing the entire world who you are. Because normal guys don't spend their time studying ancient text. And when you walk the streets and someone acts in a certain way and dresses in a certain way, normal guys don't put their eyes down. And normal people don't walk out every seventh day. They don't leave their corporate jobs on Friday no matter what's going on the deal side. And normal people don't say to their bosses, I'll be out for a week for sukkahs. Oh no, there's 2 days in the back and I'm sorry that you didn't know that. And normal people don't sit in restaurants and very important deals and don't eat the food, when the whole reason why you go to a restaurant is to create a relationship around the food. Because if who you are is that money, and who you are is that deal, and who you are is that job, and who you are is that career, you're going to be conflicted. But if who you are is a piece of me, you're going to walk into that room, look at that food, and go, for real? Do you know who I am? I've been put into this world to show the world that I can have without having to give up a second of Hashem. What are you talking about? Who I am? I walk the streets. I'm in this world. Because when I walk down this street and I put my head down, I'm showing the entire world, physical and spiritual, about who I am. I'm a piece of Hashem. I'm never giving that up. And you can put your head down and not commoditize people. Who I am, I can put my head into ancient texts and show the world that Hashem's light is hidden in that text. And while most people would have given up by now, I'm not giving up until I get it. And most people my age would be out on the street by now, but I'm still plowing at it. You know why? Because that's who I am. And I know that if I'm going to cater to who I am, that connection to Hashem is who I am, I will have whatever I'm supposed to have, but there's no greater feeling than being that conduit for the Kodesh Baruch Hu in this world. Hashem is telling Noach, get this, I'm putting miracles through you. And when you read that parsha, you look yourself in the mirror, Hashem's telling you, get this, you're not sitting in the old city because there's 6 billion people in this world. I handpicked a few to be sitting 5 minutes from my house. You're not sitting in this room because you just ended up here because your father or mother knew what. You're sitting in this room because the creator of the world said, I am putting you here because I need a force of people that know who they are. You're a piece of me. The greatest feelings you'll ever have in life is when you tap into that feeling. You want to know what it means to have a marriage? It's through that feeling. You want to know what it means to raise children? It's through that feeling. The feeling you get when you're tapped into your soul is the feeling of your life. And when you're plugged into me, there's nothing you're going to have except for that. That's going to give you everything. And then you can have stuff and do stuff all you want. But you're never going to be stuff except for being a tzelem Elokim. The greatest thing that they've taken from us, and the greatest fake out of our lives, the Greeks have done a lot to us, but what it means to be in Gullahs is the Greeks have taught us that who we are is Greek. And what it means to be a Jew is to turn to the Kodesh Baruch Hu and say, who I am is a tzelem Elokim. That's my identity. And if I do nothing, I'm still the most important person on planet Earth because you chose me. And every second I move in your direction, and every second I fight to understand what you're saying, and every second I do that mitzvah, and every second I fight, every second of my life that I'm fighting, what I'm doing is I'm taking my little tiny cord plug and I'm making it stronger and stronger and stronger. When I walk out of this building, as whenever I leave, I walk out with a thick cord to you, and I want to go out to the world and show the world that I am a conduit of your miracles. Your spirituality can rest through me. That's who I am. I'll be Noach. I'll be sitting in an office myself. I'm not giving in. I'm going to be Noach. Everyone's going to tell me, look at screens all day. I'm not. Everyone's going to tell me, marry a girl based on this. I'm not. Everyone's going to tell me this is all ancient stuff. Every second of our lives and every second of your life where you reclaim your identity, this is about who you are. And every second that you tell yourself who I am is a tzelem Elokim, and my goal in life is to be able to build a conduit to that through Torah and mitzvahs, your identity becomes strong and you take on the world, and then Hashem can give you things without having to worry that if I give you a little bit, you're going to run away. And everything you have, you explode. And that could be why when Avraham comes to the scene, what he does, he shows himself, he walks through the Kibshon Aish, but the first time we see Avraham, what is the first thing the Kodesh Baruch Hu tells Avraham? Lech, Lecha. Where from where? The Artzecha. Every little bit of your society. Everything. When you're a little kid, you think you have to be this, and you have to be this, and you have to be this. You want to become Avraham, you got to be separate. Your identity has to be me. And if you're willing to walk out of the world that you grew up, the world of the identity, if you're willing to break the identity of the West, the identity then of Orkaz, if you're willing to go out and become the person that is attached to me, I'll give you everything. The challenge of our lives, the challenge of Avraham's, the ability to be an Avraham is to realize that every day of our life, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, Lech, go, grow, break free. You don't need to do the things you shouldn't be doing. Lecha, because it's going to make you you. That's who you truly are. Lech, Lecha means when you grow out of your identity and you identify with me, that's when you find yourself. That's what Lecha means. It means that's who you are. You're a person that's able to look out to the world and say, I could do all this, but I'm not going to be any of this. Because my identity is I'm a tzelem Elokim. And if I identify with that, and my job in life is to grow that, I want to be your conduit for this world, Hashem. Yeah, you bring miracles, bring them through me. Micro miracles. You bring ruchnius, bring it through me. That's who I am. I work for you. I'm your warrior in this world. You're not sitting here to learn a few things. I hope you don't get that. You can learn in America or wherever else you're from. You're sitting here to be somebody. Hashem picked you to be here because He needs people that can look out to the world and say, I can do, but the only thing that I am is a piece of Hashem. And when you align your be with your tzelem Elokim, and when your goal this year is how do I make my identity be with Hashem and how do I grow it? Every time you get put into a challenge, it's there to grow you. Every time you just got stopped by something you don't understand in a shear, you're ready to walk out, it's there to grow you. Every type is there to grow you. You come out here at the end of the year, and you know who your B is. Your B is tzelem Elokim. You go out into the world, and what you do and what you have only lifts that up. But if you go through the year and you learn a little bit and go a little bit, a couple of schmoozing, and in your core you still want to be that Western king, you come out of this world and the world gets really confusing. Because you're confused. Because your body's saying, that's who I am. Your soul's saying, oh, it's not. My bracha and my tefillah to you and to me. I don't got this. I'm a regular dude trying to figure it out. My tefillah to us is that you never forget who you are. You're a piece of Hashem. And when you know who you are, and it's clear as day, then every day of your life, the things that Hashem throws at you is only there to make you stronger. And every second that you're sitting in this room, every second you're sitting in this holy city, you're going to be able to grow your muscles to become the person. Because for all you know, when you go back into the world's going to be watching you, waiting for you to lift up everyone around it. That's who you are. Noach began the world of being alone because he didn't lose who he was. And he was a conduit for miracles. And Avraham started the nation because he was willing to leave and to be alone and to know who he was. And if you have the strength to know who you are, the Kadosh Baruch Hu can use you to bring his light into this world. May you have that fortune. And may we together see a world where guys know how to stand up and know who they are. They're not Westerners. They're not Greeks. They're Jews. They're pieces of Hashem. The tzelem Elokim. And with that, maybe the Kadosh Baruch Hu will look down and go, got my boys. Time to show everybody who I really am. And when you look out this window, you're not going to see a bunch of trees and some gold. You're going to see the Shekhinah. May it come soon in our days.